Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Motorcycle Club passive businesses in Grand Theft Auto Online, and why, in reality, you shouldn't even think about spending your money on them, because overall, it's a waste of money. By the time you finish today's video, you should understand why the Motorcycle Club businesses are just a flat waste of money, and what you should be spending that money on instead. Before we get into today's video, I want to point out that this is mainly targeted towards solo players, people that are going to sell their Motorcycle Club product in invite-only lobbies. If you're a player that's got a lot of friends, you're going to sell your product for that high demands bonus, I actually do think Motorcycle Clubs are worth it, not only because you're getting that high demands bonus, but the more people you have, the faster you're going to complete your sale missions, which is obviously not the case if you're one single player. With that aside, let's break into one of the most important parts of any business, and that is the economics. How much money per hour are we making with all of our Motorcycle Club businesses? Now, when it comes to your Coke, you're making $67,500 per hour, and that is with the $75,000 resupply fee added in. Your math is going to be making $40,000 per hour with the $75,000 resupply added in. And I should point out that all of these have the resupply fee added in. So you're going to be making $31,000 per hour with the counterfeit cash and $23,000 an hour with the weed. If we add all of those together with the resupply fees, it is $161,500 every single hour. Now on paper, that's not bad. That's actually pretty decent money. If you would like to see the math I did to get to that number, then I will link a video in the description down below where you can check yourself, where I go into all the numbers and math on how your Motorcycle Club makes money hourly. But with that aside, on paper, if you could make $161,500 every hour, that would be amazing. Imagine. Unfortunately, that's not the reality of how Motorcycle Clubs work, because you have to sell the product, and this is where problems occur. It takes, on average, as a solo player myself, about 20 minutes for each sale on your Motorcycle Club. And you have 4 businesses. That means if you fill all of your businesses, it's going to take 80 minutes of sale missions. 80 minutes of sale missions! And that's every single time you fill them up. That means like every 3 hours, you're spending 80 minutes of your next bit of time just selling your Motorcycle Club businesses. And sure, a business like Special Cargo makes less per hour at $140,000 is what I calculated. But the big difference with Special Cargo is down to the simple fact that you get to store your warehouses up to 111 crates, meaning that it took me about 3 weeks to fill all 5 of my large warehouses. But then when I do the sale missions, I make $15 million with my high demand bonus added in. You don't get that with the Motorcycle Clubs. Motorcycle Clubs can't even hold $500,000, and that's the problem. If motorcycle businesses were able to store a lot of product, upwards of $1 million or $1.5 million, it'd be great, because you could just constantly resupply and then sell when it gets to a really high price margin. But it's the fact that, for example, the weed business fills up at like 210,000, and then you got sometimes 4 vehicles that you have to sell. The bunker sells with 1 vehicle at like 210,000. You can see where the problems occur. Let's take a step back really quick, and let's go back to the 80 minutes you're going to be taking your time to sell these Motorcycle Club businesses. The Dr. Dre entire VIP contract took me about 1 hour and 10 minutes to complete once I got it down to a rhythm. 1 hour and 10 minutes. And that's also added in with me doing payphone hits in between each one of the main 3 missions. So I was able to net about $340,000 from the payphone hits alone doing the Dr. Dre contract, and then $1 million from the Dr. Dre contract itself. That is a $1.4 million payout, which is great, especially when you add in the fact, for example, your Motorcycle Clubs, you are paying $75,000 every time to resupply. So sure, your Coke might sell for $560,000 or whatever the max is, but about $150,000 of that profit is actually eaten away just by resupplies alone. You don't have that problem with the agency. You're just getting a flat income, which is amazing. And I guess you could make the argument, well, you have to have a cooldown for the Dr. Dre, but actually, you really don't. Because when you think about it, the Motorcycle Club, you're waiting sometimes 2-3 hours for your business to fill all the way to the top to sell. The Dr. Dre VIP contract has a 48-minute cooldown before you can start it up again, which is way faster than the amount of time you'll be waiting for your Motorcycle Club to fill up with money. Overall, the motorcycle club can be a decent venture to make money off of, but that's without even adding in the fact that you have to pay for each one of these businesses. For example, the Coke, the one I own in Sandy, the lockup, is about $900,000 to purchase. And then you've got to add on about $1.5 million of upgrades, so probably about $2.3 million is the amount of money I've spent on my Coke lockup. Then you add in the meth, which probably cost me another $2-something million, and then the cash, which is probably about $1.9 million, and then finally the weed, which is probably about $1.5. Add all that together, and I've probably spent around $8 million in total on each of these businesses. That's a lot. That's a lot of money, $8 million. When, again, go back to like the agency, I can just purchase a $2 million property, doesn't need any upgrades for it, and I can get everything done. I should also point out that the agency comes with a free like 20-something car garage. The agency comes with a free helicopter, and it comes with a $20,000 passive income every 48 minutes, which is the same as the weed per hour, just by doing literally nothing but completing security contracts, which itself will also net you a crap ton of money. Personally, the main reason I would suggest to own a motorcycle clubhouse is down to the very simple fact that you can call in your motorcycles instantly through a motorcycle club. Let's say you want to get your Oppressor Mark II back, boom, instant respawn, or your Oppressor, whatever. That's the nicest thing about the motorcycle club, is that you can call in your motorcycles. And honestly, if you want my opinion, just don't buy the motorcycle club businesses and just do the contracts. Right now, all contracts, for example, life and death bikes, are double money. And they're going to be like that for a very long time, because Rockstar hasn't announced when they're not going to be ×2 money. So you can earn a lot of money from life and death bikes. I think it was some video I saw, $165,000 every 6-7 minutes. That is an insane amount of money, especially because, once again, you can buy the cheapest motorcycle clubhouse. You can buy like the Great Chaparral one for 250 grand, the one I own, and not have to do any upgrades in it. And you can just constantly redo these missions over and over. So, if you want my opinion, and I don't even really think this is an opinion at this point, when motorcycle clubs were first added into the game, it was like 7 years ago, and at that time, it was a pretty solid money-making method. It was right up there next to special cargo, and it was the first type of passive business, so you could do your special cargo sourcing and then also have your motorcycle clubs running in the background. But nowadays, with just much more efficient money-making strategies and grinding videos out there, there's no point to own a motorcycle club. But at the end of the day, this is just one man's opinion, and you shouldn't take this as gospel. If you think that motorcycle clubs are fun and you like doing the missions, plus they are a way to make money, then go ahead. I'm not stopping you, nor should this video try to stop you. But hopefully this video should shed some light into the fact that yeah, there's other efficient ways of making money nowadays. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, as I did spend a lot of time making it. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!